So, my previous claims about how Aaron Rodgers would end up on the New York Jets turns out to be pretty correct, as he's on the Pat McAfee show right now talking with him about how he intends to play for the New York Jets, and he is kind of debunking or clarifying a lot of the claims that were made about him, about his wish list, about his retreat, about everything that's been going on in this saga in the offseason with himself. But he did partially, probably, little bit realistically, majority confirm the fact that he is going to be on the New York Jets next season. He's talking that the teams they just need to figure out the compensation, and then the deal needs to go through, and then he is a Jet. He fully intends to play for the Jets. He's talking about how the Packers have moved on to their 2020 first round pick Jordan Love. So today I'm just gonna kind of talk about this. Now that we know that it's a for real thing, and what this can mean. Obviously, it's going on right now. It's pretty historic. And I also want to bring up the fact that, I think the way that this happened is kind of very interesting. But before we get into it, you guys know the drill. Go ahead and subscribe. We are 2 subscribers away from my big goal. So big shout out to you guys. Really appreciate all the love and support you guys have been showing me. Makes me feel great. So I do want to say, before we start with Aaron Rodgers, I think the way that he announced it today, like on the Pat McAfee show, big show on a live stream, I think that's the new wave, honestly. I think athletes are, agents say things to reporters and the reporters tweet them, or, they're on NFL Network or ESPN talking about it. But I almost think that if you're a very high profile athlete, you kind of want to command as much of the spotlight as you can, and you want to control your own narrative, which is what Aaron Rodgers has done this season, this offseason, excuse me. So for him to postpone any news breaking, any leaked information, and go on the Pat McAfee show to talk about it himself, I think that's a really cool thing, honestly. And I don't compliment Aaron Rodgers much because I pretty much hate the guy, but I do think that that was a really cool thing. And I think that some other athletes are going to start taking notice of this, and they're going to maybe start doing the same things. Maybe not, going on live stream. Maybe we'll see Kyler Murray announce his next contract extension on Twitch, or we'll see Juju. Juju actually just signed with the Patriots. I'm surprised he didn't do it on TikTok Live. So I think that that's almost a new wave that athletes are going to do. They're going to command more of the spotlight. They're going to control more of their own narrative, and they're going to broadcast themselves on all of the social medias, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Or maybe, I think YouTube is a big one. Obviously, Pat McAfee's live on, I'm sure, a lot of things right now. He's live on YouTube, I know as well. But who knows? So I think that's really cool. But let's talk about Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. So again, Aaron Rodgers confirmed that he is going to be on the Jets next season, but that the teams are just figuring out the compensation, everything like that. I've said it, and I'm going to continue to say it. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is getting less than a first round pick. I think the Jets are going to have to fork up a first round pick. Unfortunately, I think for Green Bay, they lost a little bit of leverage today because he basically did say that he was going to go to the Jets. How much control he has, I don't know. But I think the Packers did lose a little bit of leverage. Regardless, he's still a 2-time MVP. He's still a top 10 quarterback, I would say. And the Jets are desperate for a quarterback, and they have been for a very long time. So I still think that he's going to fetch at least a first round pick. My guess is going to be pick 13. The Jets are going to give to the Packers in exchange for Aaron Rodgers. And if you're the Packers, if Jordan Love is the guy, I think this is a really good move. You have 2 top 15 picks. You got Jordan Love, but their franchise is going to hinge for the next 4 or 5 years on the success of Jordan Love and how good he does and everything like that. I think Green Bay is realistic, and they know that they're probably not going to win the Super Bowl in the next couple of years. So if they shifted their focus to building for the future, building for the next window, hopefully with Jordan Love, I think that that would be the smart thing to do if you're the Packers. But for Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, this makes the Jets a very interesting team in the AFC. You saw the Jets kind of similar to the Broncos last year, where great defense, great young players. I think the Jets have more offensive talent than the Broncos do in terms of their youth. But they just couldn't get it done in quarterback. I saw a stat today that the 3 lowest passer ratings in the NFL last year were Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, and Mike White, the 3 starting quarterbacks for the Jets. That is the definition of inept. That is dreadful. That is disgusting, if you will. So Aaron Rodgers, even if he's not prime Aaron Rodgers, even if he's not MVP Aaron Rodgers, he is still going to be a very, very significant upgrade at the quarterback position. And, when you're in a division with a guy like Josh Allen, and a guy like Tua Tagovailoa, and a guy like Mac Jones, anyway, when you're in a division with with good. I mean, the Dolphins are a good team. The Bills are a really good team, and the Jets, I think, are now a really good team with Aaron Rodgers as well. That division is going to be really, really competitive. So they need some way to separate themselves from the pack. I think the Bills got a little bit worse in this offseason. I think the Dolphins definitely improved, but again, Tua, his health has been an issue. So who knows how the Dolphins are going to do? And then the Jets, they had a really good draft class last year with Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, Brees Hall, and Sauce Gardner, who definitely shouldn't have won Defensive Rookie of the Year over Tariq Woolen, but it's whatever. I'm not salty. Anyway, really good draft class. They have a lot of other young, talented guys as well. And I think Aaron Rodgers was just going to elevate them even more. I'm saying a lot of nice things about Aaron Rodgers, and it's kind of making me feel sick to my stomach. So before I absolutely go throw up for an hour, I do want to say that I think the way that he's gone about this, he's really held the Packers hostage. And I mentioned earlier how I think that that was partially a good thing to kind of control his own narrative, but I think he should have come to a conclusion sooner because if you guys have noticed throughout this whole free agency cycle, Green Bay and New York, minus the laundry list of players Aaron Rodgers wanted, allegedly, they really haven't done much, and I think that's because they have been kind of just awaiting the announcement, the word. They've been kind of living off of the words on Aaron Rodgers' lip. So I think that in that regard, it's a bit selfish to do that to your team. You should have kind of had this all situated before free agency, so that Green Bay can make their action plan and New York can make their action plan and allocate finances accordingly. But he didn't do that, so he waited until like the third day of free agency to kind of make a public announcement, which to me again is pretty selfish. But again, you're Aaron Rodgers, it's whatever. But in terms of the Jets, I've been seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh, this makes the Jets Super Bowl contenders." It's kind of like a lot of people overhyping the Lions right now. The day that I say, unironically, the New York Jets are in the Super Bowl is the day that hell freezes over and my mom stops yelling at me. Okay, like it's not gonna happen. I don't think. And it's not even any disrespect towards Aaron Rodgers. I just don't think. I think the AFC right now it just runs through Kansas City. Like, do you think the Jets are going to beat Kansas City? Probably not. You think the Jets are going to beat the Bengals? Probably not. I mean, we'll see if they can beat the Bills twice this year, but that I think the Bills are going to provide a great litmus test onto how legit the Jets are. If the Jets, win one or two games against the Bills, and maybe even if they lose one or two and they look competitive, really, then we can kind of gauge how close they are. But if they're getting their asses blown out by Buffalo twice, we can call it. Do I think the Jets will make the playoffs? I do. I dropped my phone. Oops. I do think the Jets will make the playoffs. They might even win a playoff game or two, but again, I don't think they're getting past the big dogs in Cincinnati, Kansas City, whatever. But again, if you're the Jets and if you're Woody Johnson, you have to make this. You have to do this. The short-term success of your franchise hinges on the quarterback play being good, and right now it's just dreadful. I do also want to mention one of their dreadful quarterbacks, Zach Wilson. How funny is it that he grew up idolizing Aaron Rodgers as his favorite player and the guy that he wants to model his game after, and then now Aaron Rodgers is coming in to replace him. But what I will say is, I think that Aaron Rodgers coming in could be a really good thing for Zach Wilson in the long term because apparently they have a really close relationship. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers really likes Zach Wilson. Um, and I think that if you're Zach Wilson, obviously you're not going to be the starter next year, barring an injury to Aaron Rodgers. You're not going to be the starter next year. You're probably not even going to be the starter in 2024 because I'm sure if he's getting traded for good compensation, he's probably going to be the starter for at least 2 years. But in 3-4 years, whether that's with the Jets or with another team, you'll have Aaron to learn under, and you'll be able to watch a great quarterback play football, and that could only do positive things. I think also it could help Zach Wilson restore some of his confidence. Because as much shit as I want to talk about Zach Wilson, I mean, we all got to admit his confidence was obliterated last year. The dude had no confidence, and just from a human being perspective, when you have no confidence and you have no more ability in yourself, it becomes really hard to do your job. If I had people, I work at a gym. If I had people every day screaming at me, telling me I don't know how to do my job or that I can't do this, can't do that, to a certain degree, it would really affect me because, just as a human being, it hurts. It hurts to get torn down that much. So I do have a little bit of sympathy for Zach Wilson in that regard. He's a young kid. Maybe not the most mature just yet, but if again, I'm 20 years old, man. If you gave me uh, millions of dollars a year to play quarterback in front of thousands and thousands of people, and I start stinking it up, and I got everybody and their mom. Well, don't mention your moms in front of Zach Wilson, but if you got everybody and their mom yelling at me, screaming at me, I go online, all I see is hate, and I turn on the TV, all I see is people talking about me. It would definitely affect me. So I do have sympathy for Zach Wilson, but I think Aaron Rodgers coming in could be really good for him long term building up more confidence, learning from a great quarterback, such and such like that. And then, God forbid Aaron Rodgers does get hurt. I think if he could step in and play decently well, he will win back favor with a lot of Jets fans. So this video is going a bit long. I normally don't really last that long, anyways. But I just wanted to talk about Aaron Rodgers and this new thing going on with him officially joining the Jets. Last point I want to make. I want to talk about the laundry list of free agents that he not allegedly, well, he debunked it, but still allegedly asked for, whatever. So let's just say Aaron Rodgers, for shits and giggles, went to the Jets when he knew that he was going to be a Jet and said, "Hey, I want this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy." Okay, I have no problem with that. I don't. Like, you don't think Tom Brady, like, went to the Buccaneers and was like, "Hey, get Gronk," straight up. Um, you don't think a lot of these guys are going to get their guys, their boys. I think that's a completely normal thing to do if you're a star quarterback, especially if you're as seasoned as Aaron Rodgers and Brady was and Manning was. Manning got who was the short white guy? Stokely. He got Stokely. I mean, he's back in Indianapolis. He got Stokely in Denver too. Like, I mean, that shit just happens. Like, you just want guys. So, and if he wants Odell, if he wants Allen Lazard, if he wants Mercedes Lewis, to me, that's not a big deal. Like, I mean, those are not like top of the end free agents that you're gonna, uh, just absolutely rip out your wallet for. I mean, they're quality players, but they're not going to cost you an arm and a leg. So the Jets already signed Allen Lazard. I saw that they're working on something with Mercedes Lewis, and I think it's rumored that Odell's going to go there, but who knows at this point. But yeah, I wouldn't really see that as a problem. Honestly, I would do that too. Like, if my boy was, I don't know. I don't think that that's a big deal. People are making it a big deal. Even if you did do that, I don't think it's a big deal. But whatever. But yeah, I just want to go ahead and talk about the Aaron Rodgers situation going to the Jets. My kind of thoughts on there. But if you have any opinions of your own or comments or any critiques of what I said today, make sure to put them down below. I love reading your guys' comments. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't already to not miss any more of my banger videos. Click that little notification bell button so you get notified every time I upload. And that's it. Have a good rest of your day, guys.